Alright, so now we're getting in with the lashes, some basic lash application techniques. I'm going to begin with individual lashes. It may seem very daunting at the beginning to even fathom that one would wear individual lashes. But I found in my years of working that individual lashes actually have a tendency to look more natural because they are more feathery in appearance than a whole strip of lashes tend to be. So I feel like with individual lashes, you also have control over what you want to create in terms of a doll-like eye. So then you can place the lashes accordingly, or you want a wispy, long eye, then you can place more lashes in the corner. Well, it's custom made, you know. So it's great fun to work with individual lashes. Also, it's great to wear individual lashes when you don't have any other eye makeup on. It has a very soft, feathery kind of appearance, so almost not very set, so slightly dispersed and worn according to your personal needs. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's quite time consuming, especially in the beginning when you don't know if the glue has dried, and they do tend to move in various directions. But I'm going to show you a few things that will indicate to you whether you have time to play around with the lash or whether you don't and it's already going to set and stuff like that. Here's a few basics you need to know about glue itself. So of course there's so many glues available, so many types of glue available in the market. Normally a lash set does have a little glue tube at the back. You can use that or not. So the glue that comes with the lashes, I find it's really hard to take it off once you've applied it. So I really swear by Duo, and of course Duo glue also comes in two different colors. One is white, which is a clear, and the other one is a black. I think maybe when you're setting out, it's better to use a white. The reason being the white one, although you can see it when you put it on, it dries off to be clear. You know, so you know that you know how long the glue is wet enough for you to fix things with. With black, you can barely make out. Having said that, black is superb. Then you don't have to prepare the lash and color it black so it doesn't look like you can see the strip. Many advantages for both. I'm going to use both the glues just so you can see things for yourself in the course of this video, not right now. Right now, I am doing individual lashes, so I'm going to use the black glue. Anyway, don't get worried about the glue. Use a good glue, which is, doesn't irritate the eyes and stuff like that. Duo glue is used, it's a surgical glue, so obviously used in the most, in conditions of great care. So I guess it's safe to use, you know. So don't worry, don't sweat what glue you're using. Again, watch for the technique, more important. Now, these are individual lashes. They come in separates like this, tiny little tufts of hair held together, normally very flared. Like I said, it's great for very natural effects and also for creating slightly doll-like spring, summer kind of effects. Again, please don't use these words as keywords because you can use it across the field of makeup. You can use it anytime you please. So, but having said that, there's great pleasure in using individual lashes. Now, having said all of that, now individual lashes do tend to come in packs that have that are short, medium, and long. So, if you saw the structure of an eye or the eyelash, you'll see that the short lashes are normally in the inside corners. Medium lashes or short lashes could be applied in the center as well, and longer or medium large lashes, long lashes can be applied at the outer corners. So you get that kind of a, natural lash-like effect. Having said that, before you apply lashes, okay, well, be it individual lashes, a full strip of lashes or half lashes, always suss out the shape of an eye. So you can see where there's less lashes, where you want to build up the lashes. Do you want a round eye? Do you want a tapered, long eye? Also, another thing to notice is when a person's eye is open, you'll also make out the distance between the brow and the lash line. If you have a smaller distance, you want to keep your lashes short. If you have a great distance, like myself for example, I have a lot of room between my eye and the brow bone, so I can go with the big dramatic lashes. If I put very dramatic lashes on her eyes, it would go all the way and touch the brow, and that will look a bit almost comic-like, So think of what you want to do, and it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. So suss it out, work with the natural shape, natural flair, and stuff like that. So I'm going to now apply the individual lashes on her, and naturally, being her eyes are, her lashes are long, yes, but in context of her face shape, eye shape, I would use small and medium, not so much the medium and large, because I'm not going for a dramatic effect. Okay. Another thing, before you get started, I am terribly nervous about using tweezers near the eyes. But having said that, individual lashes somehow, I believe, are easier to place because I have to go as close as that, and my stubby fingers may not be able to do that. So just practice caution. I'm not trying to freak you out, but this is a sharp object going really close to somebody's eye. So you want to work at angles that are not going to put anyone in danger, okay? So you want to always ask for your customer to look right down, and if she's not even comfortable with that much, close her eyes altogether, which gives you, access. It lets you go right in, because that's how close you need to place lashes, all right? If you're uncomfortable like I am, use fingers. By the time the glue dries, do your adjustments, and you can do your adjustments with the other side of the tweezer, which is, way blunt and not as sharp as this side. But again, matter of comfort. If you think you can use tweezers with a deft hand, so be it. If you think you can't and you're happy with your fingers, so be it. Whatever road you take, make sure that your client's happy. All right, so here are the lashes. I'm most likely to use the small ones and the medium ones. And I'm just going for the natural shape again. I'm not really tweaking the shape or anything. This has more to do with placement than anything else. So I'm just going to turn this around. I'm using tweezers, all right? So take the tweezer in, go to the base, pluck the lash, okay? Now, in the meantime, you should have had the glue. You can use palettes, but I'm using the glue on the back of my hand, just a tiny bit like that, because it'll get tacky and too much dries up. Now, give the glue just a little time to dry. Okay, it needs to have a bit of a stringy kind of effect. It's called tack. So once it achieves that consistency, I think it should take under a minute. In the meantime, you can suss out where you want to place the lashes. She already has a full set, but it's going to enhance it even more. Now, while the glue is drying, let me tell you a couple of things. The place to play, I'm not put glue on this, but I'm showing you where you should be placing, how close you need to go. And I'm not showing it to you with the glue on, so I can take off the lash. If you can see the lash line, all right, hold with the thumb, not firmly, it shouldn't firmly but not hard. It shouldn't hurt the person you're working on. Now you take the lash and you're supposed to go as close as that, really into the lash line, okay? I'm just leaving it there. So much so that you shouldn't be able to tell that there's a lash there, all right? That's how close you need to go in. Now I'll take the lash off, all right? That's how close you need to go. So with individual lashes, what's fun is you can place them quite randomly, okay? There's no method. Of course, it should have method, but not entirely. You see the glue's changing color? It's got a little more sticky kind of consistency. That's a good time to go. Now this grey, what appears to be a grey glue is actually black when it dries up. So there's little or no adjustment that I'll need to make. So I'm just dropping these lashes quite randomly. Right now I'm using the small size. It doesn't need too much glue, all right, just enough. Just leave it, place it there for a while. So it kind of just holds. It needs to hold and connect with the skin and hold it there. You'll be able to see the glue spot, right? Open your eyes. Just make sure at all times while the glue is still wet to adjust it so it has the same flare as the lash. Just hold it in place a little bit so the glue catches on. Sometimes when you pick out your hand immediately after putting the lash comes off. So it takes a little bit of patience, a little bit of practice, but it's not altogether too difficult to do. Always work the lash back into the natural lashes, so the curve is the same, the flare remains the same. Now I'm going to pick a few of the medium-sized lashes so I can give length. Alright? So again, just dip till you get enough. Let the grayness or the whiteness of the glue indicate to you that you have time to play with it. The minute it goes into this dark zone, it turns black, you're finished. You should have set your lash by then. Close your eyes. See, as I'm going outwards, I'm aiming for a little bit of length. So that's why the longer lash here. I'm holding it into place so it kind of catches on. Open. See, now you'll see a whole big fat set of lashes coming on. One more for the corner. One more medium sized for the corner. I'm just working with her own lash size, Can you see how deep I'm going in? It needs to be that close, otherwise it's going to show up as a separate entity on its own and not look as flattering. Just adjust it so you get a little bit of shape. I'm just separating the lower lashes. Sometimes the glue does get caught when you go that close to the roots. The glue does tend to come down, but it's not a big deal. Like I said, it's rubber, it's not going to irritate your eyes. All you need to do is this, you just pull. And very gently, just pull so you separate the glue. The glue would have dried up and it won't bother her again. You can just kind of push the lashes down, adjust the shape. And now, open your eyes. Just separating that glue thing that's stuck here. And now just to finish off, you can put a mascara just to make it more natural. And join the, look down please. So basically you're joining the false lashes with the natural so it doesn't look like a big job has been done. If you feel the need See a tiny bit here, close your eyes. Just to clean up the glue. Of course, now you can elaborate this by using a liner or anything that you please. Look right up. Just adjust a little bit here and there. Another thing is, if you want to curl your lashes, you should have done it before, because normally after you apply a lash, it becomes very difficult to curl. The curler sticks to the false lashes and tends to lift them off, so you don't want that. So any curling you want to do, you can do before. So, sorry, that's lifting. Hold on a minute. Is it lifting okay? So I'm just kind of pushing the lashes down only because sometimes they do tend to lift in a way that's not very attractive. So you want to be mindful of the direction as well. Just pick up the lashes. So I find that individual lashes tend to look more natural and not very applied. And then you can play around, you can create as much texture as you want. You can make these wide, long, anything you want depending on your eye makeup. So this is actually just keeping it quite simple. Likewise, you can apply them at the bottom as well. I wouldn't advise cutting these too much because they look very, like stunted. A lot of people do apply individual lashes to the bottom lash line, but that looks great when you have a lot of makeup on. So it adds volume. In her case, she has a fine set of lashes on the bottom lash line, and adding anything would just simply dramatize this quite unnecessarily. The trick remains the same. You just suss out where you want to put a lot. Normally on the lower lashes, you tend to use the smallest, the shortest lash, because that would be the most ideal. And then work along the natural line of lashes. Finish. Even a false lash should be mascaraed so it can look more together with the natural lash line. Just separating that. So just blending the false and the real lashes together with mascara to finish it off. See, you can go the whole hog if you want to go really like as dramatic as you wish with something like this. I'm keeping it quite natural. The point is just to show you some placement. That should do it. Alright. So I'm just going to complete the same thing on the other eye and balance it out. So I'm not going to talk through this because I need the time to, place evenly. You're most welcome to watch. So this indicates that the glue is completely dry, all right? It's black. So as long as it has some color to it, some lightness to it, you know that you can play with the lash. You can remove it again, quickly put it back in another place, change the direction. But when it comes to this consistency, which is black, it's dry. Can you see that? No lift. So at that point, you can't do much to the lash. You'll have to take it off. And I just want to show you something. It's very easy to clean. So don't get worried about the kind of glue you're using. This is just, see, off. It's rubber based, like super easy to take off. Likewise with your lashes, they need to just be removed very gently. No issues on that. So I'm going to start on the other side as well. Again, a small tiny blob of glue. I'm going to give that time to dry out a little bit. In the meantime, I'll just look at her. Close your eye. I'm not really, there's no math here, just going with the flow, so to speak. So shorter lashes where the shorter lashes could be, naturally. Okay, the pitfalls of closing the eyes and doing lashes is that the glue from the top lash line will get onto the bottom lash line. Once you develop a relationship and you're able to do this without any issue, I would recommend that you have your customer half open her eyes, because then there's no contact made between the upper lash line and the lower lash line, chances are that the glue stickiness won't happen. In this case, there's more chance that the glue from top will get on the bottom lash line. But whatever, customer is king, so whatever she prefers, and naturally she prefers her eyes closed, so I'm going with that, respecting her decision, which is the thing to do, because working with the eyes this close to the eyes is actually quite daunting, and that too with tweezers in your hands, you become quite the menace. So you don't want to make your customer uncomfortable. So this is lash giving me a little bit of trouble, but it's still wet, so I can play with it. Open your eyes, please. So it didn't sit very well, all right? So I'm just going to go back in. You see, I could take it out because it was still wet. See, you can see it coming together slowly. I've just added fullness to the lash. Now I'm going for the medium size, just to give it some more volume at the end and length as well. So as you can see, there's a full second set, and not much effort there really. So as long as you can, kind of see it in your mind's eye that you want these flared out lashes. And if you want, what works really well for a smoky eye where you have this roundish appearance is to have the longer lashes in the center. So you have this doll-like rounded. So think about the shapes that you're working. And for these flared kind of thing, the short ones on the inside, the long ones on the outside, so then you have this almond eye kind of effect. You can create a hell of a lot of effects with just lashes. And I love individual lashes because when you close your eyes please, you cannot see. If you go in really close, you cannot really see that entire strip. So it gives you the freedom of, making it look like your own lashes. And if you can manage to do it on yourself as practice, that'll be incredible. Because then you understand what, the number of things you can do with lashes, with individual lashes, so to speak. So there you go. Open. Now I'm just going to blend those together with mascara. So I'm just making sure that the false and the naturals are kind of bonded here. So they look like one look like they belong to the person instead of looking fake. So there, I think that is really super glamorous and really fresh. There's something really fresh about wearing individual lashes versus a whole strip. Having said that, strips are easier to apply. It's just one job and then boom, you're done. But with a little effort, it's just fantastic. And I mean, like, a lot of women now wear individual lashes because this is the kind of effect they get. It's like natural and like it belongs to them. Now I'm going to show you how you can take off these lashes. It's really no effort at all. Close your eyes, please. So you can see the feathery end of the false lashes, right? So be firm here so you don't hurt the person. You're just being firm and just tug. It should be able to come off with just a tug. All right, there you go. All right, see, normally you'll be able to see where the lash has been applied, all right? So you can either tug at the lash like that, very gently from its base, but be careful because you don't want to hurt your client. You normally can see where the glue has been applied. Yeah, there you go. But be very gentle. It may look harsher than it is. It's actually really quite a gentle job, especially with the individuals. So you can see the base, you know, that's the base. And just gently, and you can see the tips. Just pull it. There you go. And the good thing about these duo glue is the glue comes off with the lash, so that's easy too. If you don't have the patience for this, another thing you can do is saturate a cotton pad with eye makeup remover and leave it on the eye, closed eye, for like about 20 seconds. What that will do is it will soften off the rubber solution, and then if you wipe it off like this very gently, not like you don't have to erase your eye, just gently wipe off, most of the lashes should come undone with that. So if you find this method too violent, I would recommend the one with the cotton pad because that's more effective, it's gentler. You don't have to pull the lash, you just leave it on again and let the rubber solution just come undone by itself, and the lashes should ideally slide off, or you can pull them off in the same way that I did this.